how to use Samsung S9 Plus camera. So again, it's saying best shot is if I move this circle onto the other circle, and when it turns yellow, that is the best shot. Before we go on, don't miss the bonus at the end of the video. Now let's get back to the tutorial. This is the Samsung S9 Plus camera. When you open it up, you'll see the screen. I'm going to go over some features on this screen and then we'll dive deeper into the settings. So at the bottom you will have the gallery on the left. You have the shutter button and you have the switch camera from the rear to the front. Then we have this panel right here where you can swipe to select whether it's photo, video, live focus or more. Under more you'll have all these different options: pro, panorama, food, night, so on and so forth. You can tap on any one of them and drag it down to this panel for quick access, and you can then save, and then you will have that option here in this panel. And if you want to remove it, you just tap on that pencil icon, the edit icon, tap on the particular option and slide it over back to the other ones. And that's how you do that. These two buttons right here on the screen that look like trees are actually magnification 1 and 2x. You can, however, use your two fingers to scroll in up to 10x. Okay. At the bottom you can see there are also, once you start to squeeze in, you will see these options right here: 1x, 2x, 4x and 10x. Let's go ahead and go back to the top now. We can see that there is a settings icon on the top left. I'll get into that in a little bit, but first let me go through the other options. We have the flash on and off, auto, and on. You can have it on all the time, auto, or just off. I like to keep it off just because I like to take pictures like that. Then we have the next one over is the timer. You can have 2 seconds, 5 seconds, or 10 seconds. The next one over is the ratio of the photo size. Now I will show you guys later, but 3:4 is actually the highest resolution picture that you can take on this camera. So I have it set to 3:4. However, you can select 9:16. You can select 1:1, which will be a square, or full, which will be the full width and length of the camera screen. So I'm going to go back to 3:4. And the next icon over is the motion photo. And motion photo is basically something that if you have it on, it will record a couple of seconds before you take the photograph. And it's something similar to what you have on the iPhone. So that's, if you have it turned on, then it will record those 2 seconds before the picture. And then the last option is the effects and the filters. So you can select different filters before you take a picture. So you have it pre-selected. So that's pretty cool. Then you can create your own. If you tap on my filters, you can actually create filters from your existing photos, which is a great option. And then face is basically an option that gives you the ability to have some features such as skin tone, color. You can modify your jawline, before taking a picture. Eyes, you can make them big or smaller. So let's get into the settings, guys. Let's tap on the top left settings icon. You'll see the first feature on the settings page is the scene optimizer. What that does is that if you turn it on and you go back to the camera, there's an icon here, that blue icon at the bottom left. According to the scenery, the picture, what it's looking at, the lighting and everything, it's going to optimize the camera settings itself. So right now, if I move around the camera, you'll see that it has now switched to the home icon, and that just means that it's detecting that we're taking a photo indoors. And if it gets darker, if it looks at anything else, it will change this icon. So that's Scene Optimizer. We're going to go ahead and turn it off and go to the next one, which is Shot Suggestions. If you have shot suggestions on, what it'll do is it will give you this blinking icon on the screen. You have to move the camera into, or move that circle into the blinking circle, and it will say that that is the best shot to take at this moment, depending on what it's capturing in the frame. So again, it's saying best shot is if I move this circle onto the other circle, and when it turns yellow, that is the best shot that it thinks it is. So that's another cool feature to kind of learn photography if you're a newbie. Helps you out in that regard. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. And then we have scan QR codes. So if you have this option on, you can just point your camera to a QR code, and it's going to give you information about it, whether it's a website or email or anything like that. It will display that information on the screen. Now let's get into the picture sizes. Now with the rear camera, as I discussed earlier, the largest resolution or the highest resolution is the 12 megapixel 4032 by 3024, and the next one over is basically half the size. So I like to select the highest resolution, which is 12 megapixel. And if you select any of the other options, you'll see that the resolution actually goes down. Now it's 4032 by 2268, and then again in full you only have one option, 4032 by 1960. It's still not the highest resolution. And then 1:1 again is lower than the top one. So I always keep it at 4:3 because that is the highest resolution for pictures with the rear camera. With the front picture, again 4:3 is the highest, and the ones below them, the first option, they become lower and lower as you go down the list. Then we have the swipe shutter button to edge to either take a burst shot or to create a GIF or a GIF, as some people say. You can, if you select the burst shot, the way that it would work is if I swipe the shutter button down, let's say, is going to take burst shots. You see how that works? You can then go into the burst shots and you can look at the pictures that it has taken, select the one you want, or you can just simply delete either just one picture, or you can tap on also move the rest of the burst shot and you can move to trash. the whole set. I'm going to delete this one as well. Delete the whole set. Okay. Now let's get back into the settings. I'll show you guys the remaining ones. Next one over is the save RAW and JPEG files. And what the RAW copies of pictures, if you're taking pictures in the Pro mode, where you can set the aperture, you can set the white balance, you can set the manual focus and all of that stuff, you can then have it save RAW files, which you can actually edit in Photoshop, and there is a lot more information saved into those pictures, and you can modify them on professional photo editing software such as Photoshop. So that's very helpful if you're into professional photography. Now the next option we have is videos, and under videos we can select the rare video size. Again, the options here are going to be UHD 38/2160, which is 4K 60 frames per second. We have the same resolution at 30 frames per second. Next one over is QHD, which is 2560 by 1240, which is 2K 30 frames per second. We have Full HD 60 frames, Full HD 30 frames, and then HD 30 frames. So the 60, the only thing with this, the highest resolution and the highest frame rate, which is 4K and 60 FPS, is you don't get image stabilization with this option. So if you're using a gimbal, this is a great option. Or if you want to take a video without image stabilization and you're trying to capture, the movements and everything, then you can select this option. I like to keep it at the 30 frames per second because this allows me to have a steady shot and a steady video. Then the next one over is Full HD. Again, this one is 30 frames per second, and then we have 1:1. And full is basically just that it's going to cover the whole of your phone screen when you're taking the video. And then 1:1 is a square video. So I like to keep it at 69, 30 frames per second. Then we have the front video size. You don't have 60 frames per second with this one, but the highest one that you have is 2K at 30 frames per second, which is 2560 by 1440. And then you have the lower resolutions underneath that. And again, you have the full and 1:1, which is a square. And if you see at the bottom, it's going to give you a description as to the selected resolution doesn't support tracking autofocus. Again, this says that it does not support tracking autofocus. And if we go back to the top, you'll see that this says that the selected resolution doesn't support tracking autofocus and video stabilization with the front camera. So if you go down, you can see that this one does support video stabilization, but not tracking autofocus. And if you go down to the last one, which is just HD, again, that does not support tracking. It doesn't support video stabilization, but does support tracking autofocus. So that's that. Then we have the Pro video size. You can also select, there's a couple of more options here, such as the 21:9, which is a different resolution, and you have a lot more options here, as you can see. And then the other ones are the same as the other modes. If you go into advanced recording options, you can turn on or turn off high efficiency video. It's going to record videos in HEVC format, which are smaller in size. However, you may not be able to play them on other devices or share them online. So that you'll have to use a converter. You'll have to convert the videos to MP4 or AVI or MOV or whatever other format that is more widely acceptable. So I keep it at HEVC format. I have it on because what I use is, when I use a software, I can always convert it into the required extension that I'd like. Super slow-mo. Here you can select either a multi-take slow motion videos, or you can take single take. We're gonna go down to HDR, rich tone, apply when needed. I have it on. This kind of when you take a picture with HDR on, it will automatically optimize the lighting, and the white balance is going to adjust the backlight. If you're standing in front of a light source, it's going to adjust accordingly. So it's great to have it on. Selfie tone, you can add a warm or cool tint to your selfies. We have tracking autofocus, and which is turned on here. However, like I said, if you're selecting a specific option that does not support it, then this will not work. Pictures are previewed, so when you know, save selfies as they appear in the preview without flipping them. So that's a feature you can turn on and turn off. Grid lines you can turn on or turn off. If you turn the grid lines on, you'll see these grid lines on the screen. Helps to adjust the photo, make sure you're getting everything in the shot and in what you want to have in shot. Location tags is basically every picture that you're going to take with your camera is going to have GPS location attached to your photo. So if you go into details, you'll be able to see where the photo was taken. So that's and videos. We have shooting methods, where you can press the volume key to take picture or record video, or you can set it to zoom, or you can set it to system volume. I have this set to take picture or record video. So if I press the volume key with the camera app open, it's going to take a picture or video for me. Voice control is amazing feature where you can actually have it on, and when you like if you're taking a selfie and it's on a tripod, and you guys are, you are with your friends or family, and you want to take a picture without setting a timer, you can just set this voice control on and then just simply say, you can take pictures by saying smile or cheese, capture or shoot for pictures, or record video for recording videos. So that's a great feature. We have the floating shutter button, where you can have it on, and it's going to give you another shutter button that you could move around anywhere on the screen. It's going to be an extra one, and you can take a picture by tapping on it. Okay, I'm just going to turn the floating shutter button off. Show palm, if you have this on, you can actually, if you show your palm to the camera, it will take a selfie. So that's a cool feature too. You can try that out. And you can also have the tap heart rate sensor to take a selfie as well. So on the Samsung S9 Plus, we have a heart rate sensor that you put your finger on, and it tests your heart rate. But with this feature on, you can actually also take a selfie by tapping or touching that sensor, which is also a great feature. Let's go back. Next option we have is settings to keep. Choose whether to start camera with the same mode, selfie angle, and filters as last time, or you can, specifically choose which one. If you want the camera to remember your last settings, you can have it selected here. Storage location, you can select either internal or SD card. Quick launch is also amazing. What it allows you to do is you can press the power key twice to open the camera. So from any screen, like if you're at the home screen, you can just double tap or double press the power key, the power button, and it's going to open up the camera, and you can then take a picture or video. Quick review is basically, if you have it on, every time you take a picture, it's going to show you a quick review of the picture that you've taken. Shutter sound on or off, you can do that here. Touch vibrations, again, are every time you touch anything on the camera app, it's going to vibrate, including taking a picture. And then you have reset settings. If you do reset here, it's going to bring you back to factory settings of the camera, the default settings. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to cover any specific feature on the next video, and I can actually, make a video for you guys. And now the bonus that I promised. Here it is. Go to magicstudio.com and you will see these amazing tools. The first one is Canvas. You can create amazing product photos in minutes. You have Photo Booth. You can create stunning profile pictures with AI. You can make pictures with words similar to DALL-E. You have Magic Eraser, which is just amazing. You can select a particular object on your picture and it will remove it. It's just amazing. Then you have Background Eraser. You can remove backgrounds automatically in seconds. You can enlarge your pictures without losing quality. Now some of these tools actually give you free credits, such as this one. Try now for free. You can actually sign in with your email. It's going to give you 40 images for free. No credit card required. And then some of these tools are free completely, and some of them are actually paid. So the pictures with AI, the profile pictures with AI actually is a paid. You get 50 pictures for $4.99. So check it out and type the letter A in the comments if you want bonus tips like this in the future videos, or the letter B if you didn't find it amazing. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and watch the other video on the screen for another free bonus. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay tuned.